Hey yo. So, FairyTale Fables. Been excited to finally be able to do a video for this game. I've been participating in a closed beta for it, and now it's just moving into the stages of opening up to an open beta. Check the video description, and there should be a link that you can get a key if you want to play this. And I gotta say, if you are a fan of auto battlers, especially if you are a fan of Storybook Brawl, or even Hellfire Tactics, I would say that you definitely should check it out. I like this game quite a lot more than Storybook Brawl. But it is, you'll notice it's definitely a game that is born from the ashes of that game, shall we say. A lot of units are basically similar or the same, but there's also a lot of new stuff too, a lot of new stuff. And part of that, actually, right now, you'll notice in the middle here, there is a real-time checkbox, and the way that works is real-time would play as normal, right? That's the competitive mode that you would normally expect to see in auto battler. However, if you don't do real-time, you'll enter what's called an async queue, and that functions a lot more similar to something like Super Auto Pets or something like that, where your opponents are not there in real time, but they are still at least human opponents. They're not bots. It's just taking the state of boards at any given time, as long as it matches up with the round that you're at, and then you're fighting against those boards. So it's pretty cool. It's really nice, especially if you're like in a situation like mine where you really can't commit a lot of the time to just play a whole game all the way through. You can play async and you can leave and come back later, or you literally leave the game and come back, and it'll pick up where you left off. So it's pretty cool. And for this video, I'm definitely going to do that, because I'm going to do, just for this first video, I want to do a lot of explaining. I'm not going to explain to you how an auto battler works. You can go back to other videos I have on the channel if you really want that type of breakdown, but I will explain what's kind of unique about this game. Also, it's nice that you just immediately enter a queue when you do the async. And if you're starting out, I would definitely recommend you just learn the game using the async queue so that you have as much time as you want. Let me skip this track real quick. There we go. Yeah, so that you'll have as much time as you want to learn the game and whatnot. So, nothing new here in terms of the concept of choosing your heroes, but maybe we can just go over a few things that you might not see normally in auto battlers. So there's this 1x2, 2x2, 1x2, 2x2 in the bottom left of these portraits. That represents the hero attack. So that each of them has 2 attacks. And then some of them have 1 attack, some of them have 2 attack. So this is a bit unique to Storybook Brawl. Basically, the way that's going to work is when if I lose all my units in a battle, I will then have my hero attempt to kill the rest of the units on the opposing board to try to force a tie. However, if there's still enemies remaining after that, then I will lose however much health. And there is some other stuff that interacts with hero attack in the game, and it may or may not come up in this run, and I'll just explain it there if it comes up. But that's the basic gist of hero attack. That's just kind of the default behavior of it. And then my health 0 just means I have the default 30 or whatever it is, but some of these heroes get some extra starting health. Some of them lose extra starting health too. We just don't see any of those here in our selection. Remember the blue 2, that's the amount of mana I get each turn for casting spells. And you'll notice Tinkerbell's text here reads, the items in your shop cost 40% less. I'll show you what items are, but that's kind of unique to this game as well. As far as these type of auto battlers go, at least. It's maybe not too unique to something like Teamfight Tactics or something, but yeah, so we'll get into it. I'll be honest, I'm not the hugest fan of any of these. I actually might just purchase Ceviche here. I have enough crystals to get another hero. Sphinx is very hard and very swingy. A lot of times I feel like I just don't get a hero power with Sphinx. Basically, you have to get to a specific situation, and it can have huge payoff, but in a lot of games you just don't get it. Tinkerbell is probably the best of these, but kind of incentivizes a playstyle that I don't want to do for this video, so I'll probably just do Sisyphus here. He's okay. The way he works is, it's basically like if you're doing good, you don't have hero power. That's what kind of sucks about him, but if you're doing bad, he'll try to stop the bleeding, which is decent, so we'll go ahead and just pick him here. So basically, if I lose a fight, I will gain permanent stats to my characters, every character on the board. You can also purposely lose fights. It's not totally out of the question. So, a few things here. Shop, nothing new there, but you got the spell. This is the new part, though. This is the item. There's always going to be an item in the shop. And the way that works is if I already have a character, I can then purchase that item to attach to the character. It'll either just give him flat stats like this shield does, or it could give him some additional effect. So we start with 2 gold, we start with 2 mana. We'll keep 2 mana, it won't increase unless we specifically find a way to increase it, whereas the gold will increase by 1 every single round. And it's the same deal, you don't carry on over any stats, you don't carry over gold between rounds, you don't carry over mana between rounds. And I guess another unique thing is you'll notice it costs 0 to reroll here. The first roll every round is free if you want to use it, which is kind of neat. But I'm not going to roll this because I already see the best spell I could possibly want to see when I'm on 3 gold. So we're thinking ahead to next turn, right? So if I'm thinking ahead to next turn, I definitely want to lock this shop, so we'll go ahead and lock it there. Now the question is what I want to buy here. I could buy a Sword Squire and just hope that we lose the fight. Keep in mind I have 1/2 hero attack, so if they put down a character that has 2 or less health, even if I don't have a character, I'll still tie the fight, so I won't actually gain stats. The question is it worth like 3 or 4 health to me to try to force stats in just 1 unit? And I don't think it is. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably just take this ranged unit. And we'll see here. So there's going to be a lot of ties early. That is one, I guess, maybe downside of the whole hero attack thing, but I still like it. I still like that it exists. So we're going to go ahead and sacrifice 1 health to get extra gold. Now I don't love these units. The sheep is takeable, but I'm going to take my free roll this time. I could also, if I wanted, I could take that shield, but I don't particularly want to do that. Darn it. So I actually could have done the YOLO play last turn, but this is very unlikely that this would have happened. But I could have actually used that spell last turn and actually afforded 2 units. So I could take the double on the Songstress, but I'm going to take the cat here. The 2-cost treasures aren't worth sacrificing the better unit, in my opinion. The cat obviously has huge synergy with this thing that boosts it for 3 attack. Now, on this one, I could lock, but it's awkward on 4 mana to lock this spell. It only makes sense if I had an item that cost 1 gold. The only thing I'd guess I'd be looking for is a double on the ranged unit, but I don't really care about that. I'd rather find more cats, to be honest, or just a better, some other zero cost spell that might be useful. Yeah, like this is just a free roll, freshen up. So we'll definitely take this, great double to have. We now have a lot of attack on that cat. We'll take the free roll. And we'll just take another cat. And I still have that free roll. I guess I might as well do it unless I want to lock the shield page, which is also good, but I don't think I will. Just roll there, and yeah. Nothing worth locking there because we're going into the new level. You know, be going to level 3 here. So as I said, unless I lose a fight, I'm not really utilizing my hero power, but that's fine. Now I could take this. Some of these spells, you notice this one, it says heavy, ignores repeat spell effects. That means there are some treasures that allow you to basically cast multiple spells at once, but if they have that heavy keyword, it won't happen. Also, this is there's a few spells like this where it refunds the mana cost, so I can spend 1 gold here, and as long as I have 1 mana available, I can cast it. However, it would refund the mana, so I'd still remain at 2 mana if I wanted to cast it. However, I definitely don't want to. We definitely want the cat box. It looks like we already have some cat synergy stuff going on. Now I could sell Songstress for the egg. That's definitely something I could do. The egg is really good in this game. It doesn't, the old egg in Storybook Brawl would die once and it's gone forever. This one dies. It has three entire deaths that you're allowed to have, and if you combine the unit, you get 3 additional deaths allowed. I don't know if I'll take it though. I think I might just rather have a full board here. This was probably better down there. I want a better unit in this first slot if I can. Oh yeah, that's a perfect one. So this is just a flying unit. If I had units in my hand, I could also get, if I slay, I could get permanent stats to them. I could do something like force that. That might not be a horrible idea, honestly. And this, he's not going to get a slay though, unfortunately, because that thing has 4 health. Our hope. So every opponent, you can scout them. We're facing this guy next. It's scouting their last board, so obviously he's going to have picked up something between then and now. So we could just hope that he has another unit in the back there that has 3 or less health. I think I will put this unit in the back though, just to see if I can actually get that off. Okay, I have a 50-50 here. Nice. So I was able to get the slay here. I almost lost a fight. That would have been good too. I could have lost it with the least amount of HP lost, which would have been nice. So now this girl went from a 2-1 to a 4-2 because I got the slay with that young parrot. So, and we might as well triple this, I think. Okay. All of these are okay. Piggy bank is like if I want to be greedy. I don't know that I want to. I could though. That actually has pretty decent synergy with my hero power. Like I could just lose a fight, but then my board would get more powerful. And I could just greed. Honestly, I probably should take the piggy bank here. I don't love to take piggy bank personally, because I'm just really bad at econ. I like to just buy stuff as I see it. We can hide the choices down here. And the shop doesn't look great anyway. Although we do have a free roll. I wouldn't mind just taking another parrot. Yeah, let's take the piggy bank then. We'll go for the greed. I'll take the parrot, and I might as well just take a 2-drop. Because this is about the best 2-drop one of the better 2-drops I could find. We'll just roll for the hell of it. Roll for the hell of it. I probably should have locked that, Now keep in mind, I haven't piggy banked yet. My plan is to piggy bank after this, I think. And I could lock that, just get extra gold. That's probably worth it. Because we want to get, it's in multiples of 6 gold that I can get my extra. Oh, we're losing this fight. That guy fucking wrecked me. I have so many 1 health units. So we'll finally get to use our hero power here. Now everything's quite a lot larger, which is nice. So we're at 7 health, or 7 gold. Let's make that 8. I'll roll. Might as well take this free thing here. Let's try to get some stats on that while we can. He's got some pretty big units, but I should be able to slay all of them other than 1. Yeah, we'll try for that. I'm going to keep the gold. Start trying to greed it a bit. Unfortunately, we got 12.5, so we only get 1 slay, but it happens. we keep facing, as long as we're facing the weaker boards, I'm going to keep the songstress in the back. Just keep trying to get the stats up, then I can slot it back in whenever I think a harder fight is ahead of us. Pirate Monkey. The pirates have an interesting game plan where they basically like to bench units. You'll notice the parrot is technically a pirate here. They like to bench units, but then interact with like your either buffing your bench and then also like throwing the bench into battle. So you notice this crew member has a dying breath where as long as I left one space open on my starting board, the leftmost bench character will get put into battle. And then that would interact really well with Pirate Monkey, which has an entrance. That means when it enters the battle, entrance occurs if you just play. Like entrance could happen if I just started with the unit, but it also happens if I summon a unit from my hand. In Pirate Monkey's case, you want to summon it from your hand, though, because it basically only interacts with temporary, or the stats that have been gained in that particular fight. And obviously you're not going to gain any at the start of a battle, just randomly, unless you have like a treasure that does that. So really the idea with Pirate Monkey is that you put it on the bench and then try to buff it with something like a parrot, ideally something better, but we'll say a parrot because that's all we have to go off of right now with what we see. And then it would jump into battle off something like a crew member, and then it would trigger its effect, which would give the gained stats. In this case, it'd be like nothing. 2-1 is really nothing. The pirates are big on doing big temporary stat gains, which really interact well with something like a Pirate Monkey. But I'm gonna really try to go hard on this piggy bank. Okay, I could triple this and take the cat. I mean, that's pretty good. I think we should do that. And that's a really good spell to lock, I think. We could also switch out our hero. This is pretty good because the other stuff here isn't like that impactful. So after 3 turns, it'll just switch my hero out. Which honestly at this point is fine. I have 21 health. I'm basically down to 2/3 my health. As the rounds go on, if I lose fights, it's just, I can only lose so many. So let's go ahead and do that. We've already kind of done what we needed with our hero power. And then I will put this in. I'm going to switch this to here. I think this has a better chance to get its value if it's back here. And then if it dies, it should theoretically summon the units here and here to get full value there. Now this unit we want to have the cats spawn with. I may as well buy this one. I'd have to sell this unit. This is a little awkward, ain't gonna lie. Alright, change of plans. I'm just gonna go like this. Yeah, it's gonna have to do. And if I think I'm gonna tie or win the fight, which I do think I'm going to. My board's is not actually that strong if it's like this. I'm gonna cast this next turn, I think. Basically, the way that spell works is I have to win or tie the fight in order to keep my gained experience. Looks like we would have been fine to do it here. I just wasn't quite sure if I was going to win that fight. Now I'm facing a tougher board. Not really. His parrot's not going to do anything to me. This is not that tough of a board. I guess the game reset MMR today as it went to open beta, and I'm just getting faced against a lot easier stuff because I went back to 0 MMR. Oh, and this is an example of one of those pirates that does really good temporary stats. So it gives 100% of his own stats to the leftmost character into your hand. So that would be like Songstress in this case. For the fight. Now, keyword there, for the fight, that means it's not permanent, it's only for the fight. So the idea of Sinbad the pirate is you try to buff him up either with spells or items or both. You know, this item here, for example, allows you to permanently gain attack while casting spells. Could have good synergy with something like this, which is the Book Mage. Cast a spell when it dies. Maybe I buy that anyway, I don't know. I think I'm going to win this fight with the board as is, though. This parrot's not very good into this, though, because if it hits the egg, that's a 1 out of 3 chance that it's just a wasted slot, whereas I could do this and then do this. I think that's pretty good. Still, this is probably better than the cat, though. We'll take our shot there. I'd still like to open with the Book Mage if possible. Just thinking if I should put this in. I buffed this unit up just to like never use it. But I would think the cat choir's better than it. I don't know. Is it really? It probably isn't. Because we want to win this fight, so let's put the songstress in the back there. Parrot shouldn't kill it unless it picked up a 2 attack buff in the meantime. Now I could sell 2 units to get to 12 to get basically an extra gold. I think it's worth it. I don't really care about the double on the parrot, so let's do that. Should have took my free roll. Oops. Darn it. Well, at least we got the full cav value. Oh, God, horrible luck. We still win, though. Okay, we are now level 5 because we got that extra experience. So that's sweet. We're at 24 gold. So we could do Nocturne. Nocturne is okay. This is a unit that used to be really... I don't know if I should talk too much about balance changes that have already occurred, but I'll just say that in the past this unit was absolutely busted. It's not that good anymore, though, I don't think. Fun unit, though. For sure a fun unit. There's dwarfs. My problem with dwarfs is you really have to go all in the dwarfs from the get-go, or it's pretty hard to pivot into them. And then there's demons. Now, this could be subject to change in the future, but I find that the level 5 is like a very pivotal level. I think that units leading up to 5 just don't compare to the ones that are 5 and 6. 6 is the max level, but I think level 5 units really start to dictate where you want to go with your build. So Succubus is just generally useful tech piece if you need it. Like if I scout my opponents, I can try to get a gauge on if it would be good. Like against this opponent, Succubus would be good. Against all the other ones I looked at, it wouldn't be good. It's not good against resummoning little units. So Succubus wouldn't be good against that. It wouldn't really be good against that. It probably wouldn't be good against that. It would be good against that. Could be okay against that. Probably not good against that. And currently not. I mean, that guy's going to die anyway, so it doesn't matter. But so I don't see any big reason to take Succubus here. You either play off your opponent, or if I had a bunch of demons, I could maybe find space for Succubus, but in both those cases, it's just not true. Now, I could take this. It's an expensive item, but it is kind of neat. You get a 1/1 on Slay permanently. I think I'm going to skip that, though. I'd rather just take the Nocturne if I'm going to go that route. I do wonder, the problem is right now I already have an in into cats. One thing I will say is cats is one of the easiest builds to run in this game. And as a new player, I would recommend you run it a few times if you want to just get familiar with the game. And I don't see any reason to pivot to... Like the Nocturne is just not good with cats, really. It would be good if I went with like bigger units that want to grow. But the cats are like, other than the cat choir, are really just small units that want to resummon and get buffed and stuff. Hermes is essentially Lightning Dragonite, but because there was so much complaining about the unit, very unwarranted in my opinion, but because, you know, the vocal minority that just wants to never change their board and never scout their opponent complained so much about Hermes, it's basically in a state of unplayable. Like, you could still use it, but it just has this weird effect right now where the slay actually is negative for it. But yeah, basically at the start of the attack, it'll just make its attack. It was a fun unit, but in the current state, I wouldn't recommend running it unless you have a very specific reason to. We could take the Worthy Sacrifice here. I could just buy, for 4 mana, I can gain an experience. Or for 5 mana, I can gain an experience. That's worth it. Because especially with cats, like, there really is only one 5-cost cat. It's a really good one. It's called Cat in a Bottle. That's what we're looking for. But really, level 6 is where the really good cats are. There's 2 in particular that we'd want to look for. I'm at 18. I could keep rolling. Actually, Duelist works decently well for cats. I will probably take that. The only thing that sucks, it will bring me below that 14 threshold, but it is what it is, I guess. Looks like we'll just go like this. So the way Duelist works is as long as the character is below or at level 5 in my hand, it'll summon it. In this case, we want to summon that. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just getting extra value out of this Sword Squire because I'm having another unit that basically summons in that spot. But also I'm protecting the cat box from just getting like 12.5 or whatever, and I'm really trying to guarantee that I get the max value out of that cat summon. As such, maybe I'll run this here. I do want to get this cat choir growing. So we're at 14. I could roll again. I think I'm just going to keep it at 14 here. Wow, it really likes to cast that spell at the worst moments. I somehow still, with that Duelist, can't get the frickin' double value there, but whatever. We're definitely losing this fight, so... Hello, stats. That guy's rolling high. Okay. I see definitely some good stuff here. I only have 1 treasure, so Aladdin still could be fine. The way Aladdin works is if I have all of my 3 treasure slots filled, it will give me double effect on the final treasure slot. But I have to have them all full, so I'd have to get 2 more treasures. I'd rather get some immediate impact. Like I said, once we start losing late, and it's not long before I die. I do like that we got 1 more proc out of our hero power right before it changed, though. So really it's between Fafnir and Demeter. Fafnir is good with cats, but you kind of want to be Fafnir from the start, because the way he works is as you skip treasures, you gain permanent power on your units, including the resummoned version of those units. But at this point in the game, we don't really want to be skipping treasures, because the treasures are good now, because we're going for higher level treasures. Probably just by default, we would go Demeter, unless I want to do Ugly Duckling. I'm going to actually submit that feedback when choosing new hero. Sometimes the hero text when you hover gets obscured by the bottom left hide button. Keep in mind it is in beta, so even though you're playing the game wanting to have fun, you gotta think your primary goal here is to be a tester. Just that's one thing I've always thought was, we've had some situations here where, I don't want to get into too much drama or whatever, but I've just noticed there's a lot of people that it's a problem with gamers, right? They're just very entitled kind of pricks in general. When you are a beta tester, your primary goal is to be a tester, and that's what it should be about. And yeah, I won't get into it much further, but yeah. So if you could read it all, the way that Ugly Duckling works is if I have 1 space free on the board, I can get basically the same kind of effect as Fafnir, but I don't really want to play down a unit. So I'm just by default going to pick Demeter here. Demeter is one of the best heroes in the game in my opinion. Basically, I basically get the same power as Sisyphus, except I don't have to lose fights to get it. And I actually get more stats, especially this late in the game, so we'll switch to that hero. Okay, we are still level 5. I could take this, I think it's okay. We'll just go like this. So, theoretically, we would think that hopefully this duelist dies first, that's why I'm putting the sleeping cat first, and then the next one dies, that's why I want the cat box to summon there. We are in 13 health, so we can't fuck around too much here. Now, I did say that it's hard to pivot to dwarfs, but if you were to do a late pivot to dwarfs, this is the unit that you could do it with, because this unit is really busted. It's ranged, already has okay stats, and it can carry an extra item, so, you know, most units can only carry one item. This guy can carry 2, and the way it works is, so this sword here has 9 attack. With Smithy, on entrance, he gives 2 permanent stats to that item, so every single round that goes by, I just keep growing that item, so he's really powerful. But I really, like I said, we're cats, we're pretty committed to cats here, so I probably will roll down to 18. I have 13 health, so I could technically die, especially if we're going against a better cat board here. Is it better? It doesn't look that much better. I don't know why this guy's on so much health. That seems like a weak-ass board to me. But whatever. Just be on the lookout for something, I guess. Okay, we could triple the duelist. Tripling the duelist is weird. Because it's like... Right now it's more powerful just to have the 2 duelists in general, but I think we'll do it. We might be able to get an okay treasure. I don't find 4-cost treasures that great, but this is probably one of the better ones, Merlin's Scroll of Chaos. We could also just take the Mana Catalyst. If I don't spend mana, then I'll get a 2/4 on every unit, which obviously has some synergy with these cats. I probably actually should just take the Mana Catalyst. The Scroll of Chaos is typically better, I would say. Nah, let's take the scroll. There's just too much value to be had there. So we're down to 17. I'll just sell this unit to get to 18, so that I get 3 extra gold next fight, and I'm just gonna hold this into level 6. Like I said, level 6 is the one that we care about the most. And yeah, I could play down a unit here. Funny thing is, I could have just done the duckling. Does this guy have any flying units? No. And this is fine, because this unit summons 2, and it'll just summon the 2 right there, as it would have done anyway. I think I will just do this. Yeah, we'll just do that. And then at level 6, I'll have a ton of gold to use. Nice threshold for me. Oh, I should have switched my cats. I forgot that wanted the first one to come out. Should have been the other one, so let's do that before I forget. Okay, we are level 6 now, even though we have no 6s in the shop. Just typical stuff for me. So I'm not going to take the free roll here, especially on this amount of gold, because on the 6th level there's just too many instances of spells that are really good. That's another reason I didn't take the mana treasure. I was just thinking, I'm like, I probably want to cast a lot of the spells that I see come late game. So let's, I could take another duelist, honestly. And I think I will. Okay. Because we have all this gold, if I didn't have all this extra gold, I would not be taking these 4-cost units at this point. But the 4 could interact with this Oberon. Darn it. So there is a 4-cost treasure that involves stars. I haven't even gone over stars, but that'll have to be for another video, I guess. It would have been neat, though, if we got the star one here. Now, this one, I get 5 extra mana. that would have actually interacted quite well with the mana catalyst. I think I could take... I don't know. I think I would still take the Odin's Ravens here. It just makes casting spells so much easier. It's like, this is free. Just cast it. Now the Oberon, I'll just explain it briefly. So you see these stars on the board here. There's 7, I think. And there are some units that just have this interaction with things called stars. So like Oberon, for example, it says when you charge a star, add my attack ×1 to its damage. It says ×1 there just to signify that it's giving the full attack, and if you upgrade the unit, I think it's ×2. Now the reason I wanted to triple that 4 when I saw that in the shop is there is a specific 4-cost treasure that will charge a star every time your unit dies, which is really good with cats. You know, you're summoning so many of the units, so you charge a bunch of stars, and then you just add in Oberon, and you're getting huge damage on those stars. But unfortunately, we didn't get it, so we'll just skip here. Archangels works with angels. We don't have angels. Fire Mage. Fire Mage could have some synergy with my Odin's Ravens, but I don't know. We aren't necessarily fully committed to cats here, but it's a lot of work to get the Fire Mage going. But it might not be unusable here. The thing is, like, there is this Master Spellbook, which would give it 2/2 permanently. The awkward thing here is, like, I'm committing a lot to use this, and it has completely no synergy with a cat build. So, if I take this, it's kind of a pivot, in a way, to a mage build, which we have no pieces for other than we have this book mage. But, you know, the other awkward thing is Fire Mage really wants to go in slot 1, so even though there is technically synergy with the book mage and this Master Spellbook, if I put it on the Fire Mage, it kind of wouldn't be realized in most cases because my Fire Mage just most of the time is going to die early, being the first striker. Fire Mage is essentially Doom Breath. But it takes a little bit to get going. And it immediately wouldn't be good against this board anyway. There's no way I could get its attack. Keep in mind, it only does 50% damage to the back row, so I wouldn't kill any of these units other than the unit on the right there, and I might not even kill him now. And I wouldn't get a good hit because he's stealthed all of his front line. So this unit here is stealth, and it gives a unit on the front stealth, so it actually, yeah, this would just be a horrible time for me to take the Fire Mage, so I'll just keep rolling here. Gwen, if I want boosts, well, there would have been kind of some mage stuff. This is essentially that type of unit where the more spells you cast, you get stats. I just think it'd be weird to pivot to the to this at this point. I could cast this. Oh, food stats. So food stats is another just temporary stat. The way it works is, you know, it's only giving you stats for the next fight. But the unique thing about food is there are some characters in the game that interact with food to try to preserve it. They typically are pretty hard to pull off, in my opinion, but I've done it before. It's doable. Okay, good boy. This is something that I could pivot to. Because here's the problem with cats. I did say that there are really good 6-drops for cats, but I swear there are just games where it will not give me them. And then I end up in this, even with all of the gold that I have here, I just end up in this scenario where I'm doom rolling for there's one specific cat in particular that you really need for the build to pop off, which is, I call it Aura Cat. I forget what the actual name of it is. And I swear it just doesn't exist sometimes. Whereas the good boy, I have some synergy for it, right? Like I can buff it with the Odin's Ravens. Every now and then it'll randomly get buffed by Merlin's Scroll. If I can find another one of those items, which they're very plentiful at the 6 cost. If I can find one of those book items, I can just attach it to the good boy. There's also a bunch of other 6-drops that interact with good boy. I think I will take this and we'll just see how we might go about trying to get it to work. There's a True Love's Kiss. I actually are called New You in this game. I'll be honest. Okay, we find the Aura Cat. So this is the Aura Cat. We found it. We may just not use the Good Boy then. Definitely we buy those. So the way Cat Queen, I'll always call it Aura Cat, but the way it works is that for all of the cats that died last battle, you get these temporary stats to your whole board. Now it also has this keyword Aura. The way Aura works is it's present as long as this unit is alive. So if this unit gets sniped or otherwise dead, then you will lose that effect for the fight. So if he had like a good flying unit or a big fire mage, we could be in danger of that getting sniped, but he doesn't. Now we can still run this Good Boy in place of that parrot. Keep in mind it's getting stats from this Aura Cat, so it's not a complete waste that we took this Good Boy, but most likely it'll come out, especially since I see here we have the supply cabinet, which is the other 6-cost cat. So really the game is just telling me to go cats at the moment. So no more econ, I'm fine with that. We'll just replace the piggy bank treasure here most likely. So how do we want to run this? This thing here I can probably take out. Why don't we go like this? I can't, yeah, no sense taking it out yet, I guess, unless I wanted to run a flying unit, which maybe I do. It's still pretty awkward. Why don't I go... Okay, we're gonna run it like this, I think. Yeah. I'm not getting full value out of the Good Boy because I only have the 2 good characters back here, but that's fine. So my game plan here is I'm going to use the unupgraded duelist to protect the upgraded duelist. So that'll summon the upgraded duelist, which then should hopefully summon both of those cats, and then we just have a big front line. And then if the front line goes down, I'll have the back line range unit, and then this will hopefully hit and then spawn future cats as well. I think we're going to crush this. Okay, so I could get some piggy bank value here still, but I could also just keep rolling. I think I'm just going to keep rolling. I'll roll down to 1, I guess. I can't afford anything if I find it anyway. I guess we're still trying to find... Let's see, Lightning Strike, 27. I could do Lightning Strike. Just go with the next fight. Alright, apparently I'm doing a lot of Lightning Strikes. Alright, this turned out beautifully. So you'll see that Aura Cat is just giving so many stats to my cats. Alright, big damage there. He's almost dead. Like I said, late game, your health total doesn't mean much. If I would have been dead there had I lost a fight like that, you know. Angelic Commander. Probably no. Oh yeah, this unit used to be different, let's just say that. But yeah. Yeah, none of these are good with our builds, so we'll just roll. Here's one we can just cast since it refunds the mana. It's like a temporary True Love's Kiss. Here's a great example of why that I don't like the True Love's Kiss though. So keep in mind, it won't matter here because we weren't going to use the unit anyway. But just to say why that sucked. I had a unit that had nearly 30/30 worth of stats, or over 30/30 worth of stats. And now it changed to a unit that its entrance is going to permanently set the stats to 14/14. It won't matter here because entrance, keep in mind, requires me to actually play the unit. So if I keep it on my bench, it'll just revert. But had I done the True Love's Kiss, that would have been a permanent change to this unit. So if I actually cared to use the unit, it would have just completely downgraded my unit. Because a lot of times when you're doing True Love's Kiss, you're using it on a unit that you kind of gained stats on to try to get big stats on some unit that really benefits from those stats, whereas this unit is the exact opposite of that. It just erases all of the stats that you gained. But that's fine. In some cases, this can be good. You know, if I use that Fox spell, which is the temporary True Love's Kiss, on a unit that didn't have stats, and then it turned into Consti, I could actually probably gain stats in a lot of cases, and then it'll just revert back to the other unit and have extra stats. So there's sometimes it can be good, but yeah, I don't know. My general feeling on True Love's Kiss in this game is there's just too many bricks for it to be worth me casting that often. Alright, we definitely get to cast this. It costs 0 because of the Odin's Ravens. I refund the mana. I just get health for free. Now, we could take Icarus Wings. This is a great item a lot of the time, but I already have the Parrot, so it's kind of like, not really much of a point. But if I wanted to grant a non-flying unit flying, I could do that. Now, these really powerful items cost a lot. They also cost mana. That's something to keep in mind. I have another duelist here. I feel like another one might be overkill. I think we are probably just... We don't quite have enough cats, to be honest. We need a... Okay, there we go. There's a cat. So... we could replace either Good Boy or the thing. I think the Good Boy probably is not as good as this, just in this particular build, or even the Parrot. It was fun while it lasted, but yeah, I think we're gonna go a different direction. Sorry, Good Boy. All right, might as well cast that. I'll cast that here, maybe. Just protect him with some extra stats. Could also put that on the Good Boy if I wanted to make Good Boy work, but really we're just... When you have all of these cat pieces together, you really just want to all in the cats, in my opinion. Okay, there's some cats. It's worth picking up. I'll just sell this, and we'll go like this. And I guess, do we care about flying in this fight? We do. I go like that. I don't think it really is better though. The problem is, like, this supply cabinet, you'll notice it summons 2 different units, so like we almost want these slots to be free, especially when we're also summoning these units that, you know, this unit that summons 2 units, and then these units that each summon 3 units. Yeah, it all kind of points toward the fact that we probably just don't really care about running cats here. I would only run like maybe cat bottle if I can find it there. Alright, I will take my free roll here. Okay, that's something I will lock. So this is the wolf bait. This is essentially what I can do there is I can put, like, say this duelist, for example, I could just put it in a wolf so that it has another unit in front of it, essentially, and really protects it. Ideally, the best thing to put that on would have been a supply cabinet. I could still do it on the supply cabinet, honestly. You like to upgrade it beforehand, but we don't have to. I could definitely just... we could just say that we don't care about the 6-cost treasure, which honestly I don't. There's not really that many 6-cost treasures that I care about for cats. So I will just put this in a wolf. So it's just protected and able to usually get its extra value there. So this guy has the cat build as well, but ours is a lot better, I would say. It'll be similar, but I'm pretty sure we're going to beat him. And hopefully we beat him... Oh yeah, he only has 7 health, so he'll be dead. Or she. I don't want to spend gold on any of the spells. Let's see. Yeah, just keep rolling. I could triple that. Doesn't really do me much good. I could change my hero power. Also doesn't really do me much good. My hero is like the best I could hope for at this time in the game. So we'll keep rolling. Merlin's great for quite a lot of builds. Not really this one though, but you'll notice it does quite a lot. Maybe on another video I can show you some Merlin stuff. Merlin interacts really well with Good Boy, for example. But again, we already have just everything. Cat, and I don't want a 2-cost cat. I'm looking for 5 or 6s. 6, for example. Okay, so do we get rid of the parrot or the book at this point? I think the parrot is fine here. I could snipe. I could snipe their cat. Either, as long as it doesn't go into the cat choir, it's good. So let's get rid of that. I'm going to keep the book just in case I need it for another fight. Alright, well, we can get our triple anyway here, so perfect. Alright. Well, standard Gabriel RNG right there. Jesus. We'll still beat him despite the fucking abysmal RNG as per usual. It's just like I hit the worst target in the back with the spell and the parrot, and then it just hits the worst possible of my units to guarantee that I summon the least amount. But sure, even though we crushingly win, you know me, and I ain't gonna let that stand. I'm gonna fucking complain. Ooh, okay. Well, I did say I generally don't care about the 6 costs, but this is probably a collection of the best ones. So let's just get rid of the piggy bank. I think double aura here is great. The battle song sword would be great too with cats, but remember, double your auras on our aura cat. So now this is double as effective. If I can triple this unit, or otherwise upgrade it, and it's like quadruple as good. So yeah. Long story short, that's good. Told you I'd maybe want that book back in. Alright, let's see if we can triple this thing or upgrade it. There's a spell that costs 12, it'll cost me 11, that essentially allows you to upgrade a unit. I could take this. I don't think it's a gigantic upgrade, putting it in place of the Book Mage. It also makes it more likely that these brick on their resummon, because this unit also resummons. I think I take it though. If this thing causes a brick, it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, we have another wolf. I think I'll just... we're not going to use this anymore. I think I will just wolf this. Or I wolf this. Yeah, why not wolf that? Does mean I should go something like... this. Yeah. That works. Do I lock the other duelist? I don't think so. Okay, how is this guy alive? What the fuck? I guess he has that pirate, but... yeah, I guess in the right build, you could have struggles against this, but definitely not ours. Alright. Sweet level 6 board here. Okay, there's the Phoenix. A very underwhelming unit, I would say. But not untakeable. Really wants us to take it. I refuse. This is one of those food-based units. I've never found this unit to be very good, though, honestly. The herding dog. Okay, we could take one more cat in a bottle. In this fight, I think we definitely want to... I don't know that we're gaining much from the parrot, because keep in mind, these stats will grow, because this unit will give 10-6 to all of them. And that's assuming they didn't get other stats as well. So this guy's just not going to slay. So I could just go like that. And I think I will. It does make it more and more likely for these things to brick still. I think we just live with that though. You can also get food stats from a lot of spells. Could technically take that to protect that a little bit more. I don't think we... it could be okay. I don't think we care to do it though. Okay, there we go. Aura Cat number 2. So let's get rid of that. We could go like that, I think. Unless I just don't... At a certain point, even it's crazy, but there is a point where I just ditch the cat choir. Like, it's just not actually going to be worth a slot on my board. And I think we're quickly getting to that point, which is ridiculous to say with how many stats this thing has, but keep in mind I'm just getting more stats when I resummon cats. So, like, right now this unit is not getting into the battle, for example. Like, I could just go like this. Or I could go like this. I do think this is better. I'm just going to cut the cat choir for now. Okay, I will lock another cabinet. Yeah, that should be good. Plus we're locking a really good spell. This is basically Pigomorph. We're down to the one-on-one now, though, so we may just win here. See, look at the stats in the back. We're definitely good that we took out the parrot. But they don't have nearly... They have some big stars there, so we could at least see some stars in action. But those would wreck a lot of my boards, but not a cat board. A cat board pretty much directly counters stars, because those stars... The stars do a lot of big single-target damage. But if my front line just keeps re-summoning... Like I survived on 1 health. Yeah, if my front line keeps re-summoning, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna have issues there. Do that, we'll cast that. Probably won't be much else to do this turn. Okay, never mind. Okay, we can take this and just get rid of this then. We're not gonna really cast any more spells. We're just gonna win the fight now. How's that for confidence? But we are. We are just going to win the fight, to be honest, so that's going to be that. I think we could go put this guy back in now, just because the board makes sense to do that with. Yeah, this should be a win. In case I lose, though, I will lock that wolf bait for sure. Alright, not the best pig, but whatever. Here come those stars. Yep. Well, there you go, cats. We basically got the cat's Exodia to a certain extent there. We got, like, the best cat treasure. This is definitely the best cat treasure, I would say, in general. We got the best cat unit, which is Cat Queen. Supply cabinet is also very good. But if I had my choice between one or the other, I would definitely take the Cat Queen. If I only could get one. But if you can get both, that's the best. We got wolves offered to protect our resummons and just guarantee things. And, yeah, and had some duelists to also protect things. This is essentially the type of things you might want to see with the cats. Now, I did mention there are other ways to run cats. My favorite, most fun way is that star build, where you're basically using the treasure that grants a star on death in conjunction with an Oberon, which is that dude that can charge stars with his attack. So you can basically make a hybrid deck where you're kind of a hybrid cat and starter build. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time to make videos these days, but this was the game I was excited about to maybe start doing some more frequent videos for again. Obviously, I can't do it daily, but I would like to do it maybe every other 3 or 4 days if I can. I might even, I do hopefully plan to carve out a time to do a small Twitch stream at some point here. Because I know that was pretty fun when I would do it for Hellfire Tactics. But obviously, I'm pretty strapped for time these days. But yeah, that's just my little preview to the game. Like I said, go to the description of the video. There should be a Discord link. And you can get your key there and just start playing and have fun. It's I love the game. I think it's, and by the way, the developer for this game is really, really good developer. They very nice. They have to put up with a lot of shit, a lot of bullshit, and they've done it with a lot of grace. So my hat's off to them, and excited to see where this game will go. So as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.